Today's story isn't really about disability benefits. It's about a much bigger principle: how UK governments try to solve problems and why that is a problem in itself. I'll make it simple for you from the get-go. Governments fail because they try to treat the symptoms rather than curing the causes of problems. Let's look at one particular case. A major review of the main disability benefit in England and Wales is considering whether claimants could be offered alternative support instead of cash payments, according to the BBC. Alternatives to cash payments could include NHS treatments, specialised equipment or employment support. PIP claims, especially for conditions such as anxiety and ADHD, have soared in the years since the COVID pandemic, says the BBC, putting increasing pressure on the public finances. The Centre for Social Justice, a centre-right think tank founded by Conservative MP Ian Duncan Smith, has called for mental health benefits to be tightened to more severe cases to save an estimated £7.4 billion. The think tank proposes using £1 billion of those savings to expand NHS talking therapies, treatment and employment support. So the symptom is the rising bill for disability benefits. The government's proposed response is to reduce spending on benefits or replace cash with other support. But if the suggestion is that people should be denied PIP who aren't receiving any other form of support, what will they be supposed to live on? If the plan is to shunt them onto universal credit, with a presumption that they seek work, won't that set them up to fail if their current condition means they can't? How will the proposal for NHS treatments affect the UK's health service, which is already overstretched to breaking point? How will employers be incentivised to support people who can't do a full day's able-bodied or minded work after so many attempts in the past have failed? Who will pay for specialised equipment? The BBC highlights PIP claims for anxiety and ADHD without mentioning the fact that you can't get PIP for these conditions alone. It is how they affect ability to carry out tasks, meaning many people with those conditions would not normally receive the benefit because their abilities would not be affected significantly enough. And the CSJ comment ignores the fact that mental health care has been neglected in the UK for decades. The underlying cause is that more people are becoming disabled or developing long-term conditions because of poverty, poor health care, insecure work, inadequate housing, social isolation, and other preventable factors. The answer is still and always will be prevention. We need to stop people reaching the point where they need disability benefits in the first place. The government needs to actually research why people found themselves claiming disability benefits, and then devise ways to ensure that other people do not fall into the same traps. reducing poverty, improving access to healthcare and mental health services, ensuring safe housing and good working conditions, and providing timely support can all help prevent people from developing or worsening disabling conditions. Good government prevents problems instead of paying for their consequences. And there are obvious places to start attacking the causes of, for example, poor mental health. A few years ago, people went out and saw each other at the park, the sports or leisure centre, the pub, restaurants, hotels, wherever. But since COVID and rises in the cost of living, they are trying to live behind their own front doors, relying on television and the social media to fill their leisure time because they can't afford anything else. Loneliness, social isolation, and financial stress have long been associated with poorer mental health. The combination of the pandemic, the cost of living crisis, and the decline of affordable community spaces has made it harder to maintain the face-to-face connections that once came naturally. But I don't see even a suggestion that investing in local amenities and making social participation affordable and accessible would be a sensible part of any strategy to improve the nation's mental well-being. Maybe Stephen Timms thinks these things will be done by someone else. In that case, where's the joined-up thinking that is required of any properly functioning government? We've seen exactly the same mistake with the NHS, where cutting public health spending leads to higher treatment costs. We see it in housing, where failing to build affordable homes increases homelessness. And we see it in crime, where cutting youth services means paying more for prisons later. If departments work together on problems, they share and most likely cut the cost, and they get to say that they are working together to end the nation's woes. Isn't that better than forcing even more anxiety on claimants about what they'll do when their benefit payments are cut?